Hey guys, welcome back to Sip and Dip with Chelsea. For today's video, I am showing you 3 ways to add designs to dip powder nails that do not involve gel products. Actually, these 3 items that I'm using are probably items you already have on hand. Let's get started. I'll be using the Azure 2-in-1 dip powder liquid for my base. I chose this particular one because it is a thinner consistency, so this is going to help not have my nails be too bulky as I'm adding layers. I've got my clear dip powder from Revel Nail. I'm going to start by removing the excess product on my brush and just do a thin, even layer across my entire nail, avoiding my skin and my sidewalls. Then we're going to dip into the clear and repeat these steps for a few of our nails. So while this dries, I'm going to start on my other nail. So I'm going to use Erica for this because I do want to have a little bit of color with my design. So we're going to repeat those steps, doing a full layer on our nail and then dip into the other shade. I like to multitask while I'm dipping, so I'm not just waiting around for things to dry. So now that we're done with that, we can dust it off. Now we're going to repeat these steps again, doing a full layer across our entire nail, starting with the clear and dip in. The reason I'm choosing clear on these is if you saw that thumbnail, I'm going to be doing a full layer of something on top, and it works beautifully by doing clear underneath because you're going to get that strength, and when you want to change up the colors, all you have to do is just take off that color, and then you still have your dip powder underneath. So now I'm going to start on the shade Erica, again, while that clear's drying. So we're going to multitask and get it done. All right, y'all, that is it for the dip powder part. So now we're gonna dust off and activate. With my activator, I'm going to apply a very generous layer of this to each of the nails. This is what's going to harden them so we can file and shape. After 2 minutes, then we'll get started on shaping. You can see here that Erica has just the tiniest hint of pink, which is going to be perfect for this design. After 2 minutes, I'm going to use the 180 grit side and go around my free edge first. Since I only did 2 layers of dip powder and I'm using sheer and clear dip powder, it's usually a really quick process, so it's not going to take me very long. Next, I'm going to grab my buffing block and smooth everything out. So I'm just going to go around the entire top surface and make sure it's nice and smooth. Then when I'm done with each of the nails, I'm going to dust it all off. So normally at this point, you would go on and do a layer of activator. So the activator is what hardens the base liquid, and it also is what helps the dip powder top coat properly dry and have that shine. So today I'm not using a dip powder top coat, so I won't need this second layer of activator. Instead, we're going to be using rubbing alcohol to cleanse our nails. So the first item that you probably have on hand that we're going to use in this design is nail polish. So I am going to put down a base coat, a nail polish base coat, just in case. So the next layer and the designs go on nice and clean and smooth. Although this step is optional, I'm going to do it anyway because it's going to help that nail polish color go on clean, smooth, adhere better, and the designs. Once I'm done applying a full layer of this to each of the nails, we're gonna let it dry. This product dries really quick. I'm gonna show you, once I get to my thumbnail, my pointer finger is already dry. So check this out, my thumb is still very tacky and wet, and the rest of the nails have already started drying. As I mentioned, the first item is going to be nail polish. So I fell in love with this shade in the last video, and I've been dying to see it matte. So we're gonna do a full layer of nail polish on the entire nail and let that layer dry. So why might you want to consider this instead of just doing colored dip powder? Well, like I mentioned earlier, all you have to do when you want to change up a design then is use nail polish remover and take off the nail polish. You're still going to have that dip powder strength underneath, and you can just change up the nail polish shade. It's so much faster than soaking off dip powder, and it's going to be a quick, easy way to use all of those nail polishes that you probably have in your house. So I timed it. It took about 4 minutes for it to dry, so I'm going to go in now for that second layer. Again, judgment-free zone when I'm playing with nail polish because it is taking me some time to get used to it again. It's been so many years, but I'm going to show you guys how we can clean it up. Once it's dry, I'm gonna grab a makeup sponge wedge. We're gonna cut it in half so we don't waste too much. Then with the nail polish, we're going to apply this to that edge and we're going to do a little bit of ombre. You don't want it to be super wet when you apply it, so once you start to see the little holes, then you know it's ready and it's absorbed. I'm going to start at my free edge and just work my way sidewall to sidewall and going a little bit further back. I personally like to just barely cover up my natural smile line, and I don't like to go too high. So once I see it's fully covered, then I'm going to stop there. So that looks good for my first layer. I'm going to apply some more polish over here on my sponge and start on my second nail. Once I see those little holes appear, I know it's ready. So it's really important that when you're doing anything like this, again, it's nail polish, so it needs to dry before you go in for that second layer. That's why I'm going to go ahead and start on this next one. You can see I went a little bit too high right there, but I'm not too worried about it. It's going to blend out beautifully, and I can add some clouds on top. So once it's fully dry, then we're going to go in for our second layer. All right, so it's dry. I'm going to apply some more polish. If you feel like your sponge has hardened, you can absolutely just apply it to a different, cleaner part of your sponge. So repeating those steps, going sidewall to sidewall, working my way back a little bit. It's blending out beautifully, and I don't think I'm going to need to do another layer. Also, if you're worried about getting it on your skin, you can totally use liquid latex or some tape even to protect your skin. I'm just going to use some nail polish remover to clean it up later. All right, guys, we are done with household item number 1, which is nail polish. So we're going to let that dry and start on item number 2, which is acrylic paint. So I put some white acrylic craft paint here on a little Ziploc bag, and I have my dotting tool. So depending on the size you want your clouds will depend on the tool size. So I'm going to use this side here. If you want smaller clouds, you would just use the smaller side. I also have this brush that I'm going to use for cleanup and for my cloud. So everything will be linked down below. I'm going to dip my tool in and start by doing the top section of my cloud. Then with the dry brush, I'm going to slowly bring that paint downward. So this is going to blend it out slightly. I like the clouds to have that puffy top, but a straight bottom. So we're just very lightly pulling that paint down. My brush is not wet, and we're going to blend it out. All right, here's how we're looking for cloud number 1. I'm going to start on the next cloud. So dipping my dotting tool back in, we're going to start by doing the top. I love nail art that starts from the sidewall and kind of like works its way onto the nail. So that's what I'm going to do here. Just doing the tops of the cloud to give it a nice puffy top, and then blending it out, giving it a straight edge and softening up the white. Also, you do not have to be extra like me and do 3 different types of items on nail art. I just want to show you there are so many alternatives to gel. So if you want to do just nail polish on top, just acrylic paint on top, or just the other item that I'm featuring, that is okay. So I finished up the other clouds off camera. Now we're going to clean up. So I'm going to dip my brush into some nail polish remover to get that paint off of it and just clean it off on a lint-free wipe. And then I'm also going to use this to clean up my cuticle area. So I have some spots that got a little messy, so I blotted off that excess first, and now I'm just going to carve out that cuticle area so we get that crisp, clean look. I went ahead and cleaned it up off of my skin as well. Here's how we're looking. Let's start on that next item. So stickers, you guys. Stickers are such a great way to add designs to your nails. You don't have to be great at art. You just stick them on and you are done. So this is a set I got on Amazon. Unfortunately, it is out of stock, but I'm gonna link one that is pretty much the same and has these same sheets in it as well. These are the 2 that I'm just obsessed with, so I'm gonna use them today. So I'm just going to pick up the little sticker I want, and once I'm happy with it and placed it on my nail, then I'm going to press it down. I love that stickers have come a long way, like a little sticker glow up, because I think they have such a negative connotation sometimes, like we're expected to do hand art, but man, these stickers are so cute and so easy, especially when it comes to stars, because y'all, I cannot draw stars to save my life, and that is it. It is that fast and that easy. Now that it's dry, we're going to go in for our Maniology smudge free top coat. So I love this top coat, especially on designs, because like it says, it will prevent it from smudging. We are also going to do a different top coat on top of this. So this is just really providing that extra layer of protection over our stickers and really going to help that next top coat go on even smoother. So here's how it looks glossy. We're gonna let this dry and then we're gonna go in for this matte top coat. So yes, you can also use a different glossy top coat on top. I really like this gel setter that I've been playing with, but I have been dying to see this shade matte, so we're gonna do that. So following the same steps with the matte top coat, I'm gonna do a full layer across the entire nail. This one in particular just goes on like butter. Some matte top coats can be so unforgiving, but something about this formula, it just goes on like butter. It's so velvety smooth looking, and especially doing that smudge-free top coat underneath really is just chef's kiss. All right, y'all, so we're gonna let that dry, and after that, we are done. Those are 3 different items that I'm sure at least one of those items you have in your house that you can use on top of your dip powder. So if you don't wanna use gel, but you still wanna have fun, you can absolutely use the acrylic craft paint, you can use stickers, and nail polish. The possibilities are endless. Like I said, the beautiful thing about this is when I'm tired of it, all I have to do is use nail polish remover to take off that design, take off the nail polish, and I can start over. I still have the dip powder underneath, and I can add a new fun color on top. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all next week.